Hi everyone, it's Farah and welcome to Digitella. I hope you're all doing well. Today is going to be about giving you the best 5 things I learned from an internship I did specialized in technology. So grab your cold drink since it's summer and let's get started. If you're not familiar with IEUK Technology Internship, it's basically an online internship where you attend several scheduled webinars for 4 days straight, and it basically consisted of ambassadors from well-known companies like PwC, BT Group, Deloitte, and many more. Each of them explain different opportunities you can have as a graduate or in normal roles, as well as some brilliant tips on how to stand out from the crowd during the application and assessment center stages. Also, on one of the days, you get to speak with one of the graduates or company ambassadors and ask them questions regarding the application process of the company that they work from and how they adapted to the company's culture and so many other things, of course. I'll go through each thing I learned from the IEUK Technology Internship and try my best to give you practical tips that you can do to jumpstart your career in tech. So, tip number 1 is confidence. I know that you're surprised, thinking, what is she going on about? But it's one of the things I kept noticing during every webinar I attended. When one of the company's ambassadors or graduates would speak about their experience, they radiated that pure confidence off when speaking about their experience and how they face challenges, and it actually really inspired me to be more confident in the way I carry myself, speak, and think of myself. So many of the ambassadors that talked about their experience eventually lacked something in their skills or experience, which is totally normal as someone just starting out in the technology field. But I think what made them get to where they are today is their confidence in their ability to achieve their goals and in their skills and knowledge. So one practical tip I would give you guys to try and do to become more confident is to set yourself some small achievable goals regularly and reward yourself for each goal you accomplish. I know that it might sound weird, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but trust me, these small goals do add up to bigger goals. So each time you achieve a small goal that brings you closer to the bigger goal, you eventually start feeling more confident in yourself. So set a goal for yourself, break it down into required tasks you need to do, and then write down the plan, which includes when to do each of the tasks you assigned yourself, and then set a deadline to motivate you. And on to tip number 2 is applying to jobs a year earlier than the year you're going to apply to jobs. It might sound weird at first, but it's actually very clever. I've heard that from a recruitment manager in one of the workshops, mentioning how you get to learn the process of applying and which companies might best suit you, and how you get experience in doing assessment centers, as it's a very crucial part of the application process in order to get accepted in your dream company. So say you're a university student in your second year and you're graduating in your third year. If you began applying from September of the second year onwards till August, it would give you enough experience in doing interviews and assessment centers, as that is the determining factor of getting a job or not. I think it's pretty good to keep track of all the companies you've applied for in a spreadsheet and reflect on each interview or assessment center you've had to know what your weaknesses are, so you can work on improving them in the next year you apply. And that's my practical tip for this advice. And on to tip number 3 is the importance of networking. I've noticed this in several webinars when the ambassadors of the company were talking about their career journey. I've noticed that the majority of the opportunities that they had were brought from the people they got to know in events, university, and etc. Attending events for companies you're interested in working for is really good because you get the opportunity to see the employees in person, and you get to ask them and introduce yourself to them. Bonus point, if you already explained your ambitions and what role you're applying to in their company, you can ask them politely if they can be your referral, which will make the application process so much easier, hopefully. So these little checks might seem nothing, but they're everything in the recruitment world. My practical tip would be to keep up to date with the latest events that your dream company or any tech company is hosting, and practice your elevator pitch before going to the event so you're not overwhelmed but confident. Your elevator pitch is a small intro about yourself that highlights your achievements, experience, and character. Do some research on the company beforehand so you can show how you're interested to the company you're applying for. Do some research on the company beforehand so you can show how interested you are in the company to the employees. The more events you attend, the better you get in presenting yourself, and of course you become more recognized by people working in tech, and you get the opportunity to talk about the events you went to in your interviews to show your interest. Tip number 4 is the importance of resilience after every setback you encounter. That includes academic setbacks, failing interviews or assessment centers, or CV screening stages. All of these require resilience because without it, you will give up and not work towards your goals. I noticed this during one of the webinars when one of the graduates in one of the top companies talked about how the job hunting process was very exhausting and not easy at all. And the key to this was resilience, which made her push through all these challenges and get her dream job. Of course, this hugely relies on luck and hard work, because sometimes even if we really worked hard for something, some things don't go the way we planned for them to go. So my practical tip would be to practice cognitive reframing, which is a mental shift to see a situation from a different, often more positive perspective. And here's how to apply it. First, you identify the setback. You clearly define what the setback is, which might be a failure, rejection, or any unexpected difficulty. And then you acknowledge your feelings by allowing yourself to feel the disappointment, frustration, or angriness without judgment. And then you analyze the situation. So you analyze the situation by distinguishing between the facts and your feelings about the situation, since facts are objective while feelings are not. And also you recognize that your current interpretation of the setback is one of the many possible ways to view it. And then you challenge your negative thoughts. So you ask yourself, is there any evidence that contradicts my negative thought? What would I say to a friend in a similar situation? Or how will I feel about this in a year? So you just kind of think about it from a different perspective by challenging it. And then you reframe the setback. So you can view the setback as a chance to learn and grow. For instance, not getting a job might push you to improve your skills or find a better suited opportunity. And then you understand that setbacks are usually temporary and not a reflection of your permanent abilities or self-worth. And also focusing on the aspects within your control so you can develop an action plan to address them. And then you can decide on practical steps to move forward, which might include seeking feedback from the company that you were rejected from, developing new skills that you lacked, or setting new goals. And then we have reaching out to your friends, families, or mentors for advice and encouragement, of course. And another tip that you can implement in your life regularly is to reflect on what you're grateful for. So this can shift your focus from what went wrong to what went right. And tip number 5, creating your personal brand. I'm sure you've heard about this a lot because I know I have. Creating a personal brand means considering what you want people to think of you when they hear your name. So are you a creative, an outgoing person, or more of a quiet and analytical person? What are you most known for? Essentially, what vibes do you give off when you're with people? Think about your core values and beliefs. How do you normally dress? These things are crucial when it comes to getting a job because you're becoming a part of the company, not just working there for the sake of money. A practical tip from me would be to build a strong personal brand by following these steps. So first we have self-assessment. So this includes identifying your strengths, weaknesses, values, passions, and goals, and reflecting on what you want to be known for and how you want to be perceived. And then you have to define your audience. So determining who you want to reach with your personal brand, employers, clients, peers, like what type of audience do you want to reach? And then you can start by crafting your message. So by thinking of a message that you want to consistently communicate with your unique values every time you meet someone new. And then maybe using a tagline or personal statement that summarizes your brand or elevator pitch. And then you can enhance your online presence, so creating accounts on LinkedIn, Twitter. These are really great for keeping in touch with the latest updates in technology. So having a social media profile there is really good, and making sure that you just only post professional posts, not personal posts, because it's more of a business account for you. And then you can create content, maybe videos, articles that really reflects your expertise and personality, and networking online by engaging with others in your field and participating in relevant conversations. And also ensuring that your message, appearance, and actions are aligned, and making sure that you're consistent with it. So ensure that your message, appearance, and actions are always aligned across all platforms and interactions. And also regularly update and maintain your personal brand to keep it relevant. And lastly, of course, seeking feedback and adjusting based on that. So asking for feedback from trusted peers, mentors, or professionals is really good because you can know what you can improve and what is going well. And being open to making adjustments based on constructive criticism to improve and evolve your brand. So by knowing what is your personal brand, you become even more authentic and confident in your skills and experience, and you achieve more clarity in your life because you know what you're aiming for and what you plan to do in order to achieve your goals. And that marks the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. Please make sure to comment your favorite tip, like, and subscribe to my channel, and of course comment down any video ideas you want me to create for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!